Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I want to go over the best offense and defense in solo battles in my opinion. I've been able to get great success getting pressure with this defense and scoring with this offense. So I thought the best way to do this would be two things. One, to show you guys me playing it live a full half to see what I do. And second, to do it with my alternate account, which is 71 overall, to show you that you can do it with a team that's not that good. So here, the 2-4-5 double A gap mid blitz. This is out of the Packers defense, but it should be out of many other defenses as well as other nickel formations even. So as you can see here on that running play, they got 2 yards. Here I'll show you a little bit of my adjustments. I man up everyone, man press, user this safety on the running back most of the time. Unless they're in 5 wide, then I do something different, but I'll show you guys that if they go into 5 wide. So here again, I'm just pressing everyone up. And the reason I press is to eliminate the short passes so they don't just dink and dunk you down the field. As you see there, incomplete pass. Generally, also this mid blitz will get you a lot of sacks, but obviously, taking less than a minute off the clock and getting a 3 and out is also good as well, but you should also be able to get a decent amount of pressure as we get this punt return here. I won't risk too much given that it's Christian Kirk and it is solo battles, so that's usually not a good combination. But offensively, this is out of the Chiefs book, empty base flex. I run this verticals play. I keep everything the same except the Y slot receiver, who happens to be Christian Kirk. Is usually on a drag. I put him on a slant route so he can get a little deeper in his route. As you can see here, we just hit him. Pick up usually between 9 and 12 yards on this play, depending on when I throw it. Again, no huddle. And here we hit the seam. So generally it's going to be Christian Kirk most of the time. I'd say 65% of the time when you're throwing it, it's going to be to Christian Kirk. But I do run it with Baker as well, and the seam to the tight end is open at times as well. Occasionally, you'll hit that seam route to the RB receiver there. But, that's only in very rare cases where, they send a decent amount of pressure and they don't really have the ideal coverage there. So that fumble was my bad. I should have slid earlier. But still get yards, 1 out of bounds. Again, we're going to stick with it. Same thing, even inside the 20, doing the same thing. They bring pressure. You just hit this quick thing to Christian Kirk down the 5-yard line. Again, no huddle. Sticking with the same thing that I've been doing, even though that they have deeper routes. And you might be wondering, well, why would you do that if you're inside the 5-yard line? It still pulls the defense back, whether they're in man or they're going to sit in their zone. And then, they're still accountable for that receiver. And then Baker can either run it or, throw it to the primary receiver. Now, on the 2-point conversion play, I do run this Styx play. And the reason I run it is because I usually hit either Rodgers on this stick or Smith-Schuster. I put on a slant, or I run it with Baker Mayfield. You can see here, Rodgers was wide open, but, Baker made an inaccurate pass. You're going to get that in solo battles. There's going to be inaccurate passes. You just got to deal with that. But the read was there. That situation, I don't really think there's much more I could do. I made the right read, clicked A, and the ball was 4 yards to the left. So back to defense again. Nickel 2-4-5 double A gap mid blitz, press everyone, put this safety on the running back. They're going to run it. I will say this is a little susceptible to the run, so you want to make sure, like I had there, I brought my user up, I identified it was a run to the inside. Pretty quickly, you're going to want to have an active user. Make sure you're moving, around the field. Make sure you identify where the ball is going pretty quickly. Now here, 3rd and 7. Again, same situation here. Try to stop that. We do. So far we haven't gotten any sacks. They've gotten the ball out pretty quickly, and they've put a few extra guys in to block. You are sending 6, so when they don't have an extra guy to block, and they're only blocking 5, usually coming off that right side there is a free rusher. And really, because you have that free rusher, you're pressing because you want to eliminate the short pass. You have that free rusher and you just, play off 5-7 yards. They're just going to, dink and dunk it on you. And you really want to prevent that. You can see here to end the quarter, we'll run, get a first down with Baker Mayfield and slide down. So because this is a 71 overall team, you're probably not going to put up, 45, 50, 60 points a game like you might with a little bit of higher overall team. As you can see there, another inaccurate pass by Baker Mayfield. Was on the run there, but, still an inaccurate pass. But generally we'll get right back to the formula here, hit it to Christian Kirk. Again, with a team like this, you might get drops. I've had, wide open slants to Christian Kirk like you saw there just get dropped in the past. It's, again, the combination of it being solo battles and the sliders sort of being not in your favor and you just having a lower overall team. So it's expected that you might not be able to do the same things that other teams, that are 10 overall higher would be able to do. But I want to show you guys with this 71 overall team that you can still be effective with a team like this. Now, as you can expect, a lot of people have teams like this, that aren't that great early on. Best player is this Baker Mayfield, who I got from the NFL Epic, so he's an 86 overall. I think it is important for if you're a solo battles player, you're looking to grind these out, that you get a quarterback that has a decent arm and is also mobile to start. There's that 72 Matt Ryan that everyone gets. I would not recommend sticking with him for too long if you're looking to play solo battles. But, this is really what I do. I mean, it's usually one play. I get down here to the 2-yard line, and, it's a similar situation at this point to the 2-point conversion. As you can see here, the middle linebacker is inside. The slot corner is playing off a little bit, so Christian Kirk here at the Y should be open for the touchdown, and he is. So that's really what I look for. It's pretty simple in terms schematically. You're running one play, basically. Sometimes two if you're running the Styx. Again, you see basically the same thing here. Christian Kirk should be open. He is. We end up converting that time. So 14-0, but again, schematically, it's not that difficult, but it's about adjusting to the different defenses in terms of what your read is. Offensively, do you throw that slant to Kirk? Do you throw it up the seam to the tight end or the other receiver? Do you pull it down and run it with Baker? Know when to throw it away. You don't want to take a negative loss, obviously. We are back here defensively. It's a good time, 5 wide. Press man everyone, but usually the middle linebacker, drop him back into coverage. It's usually what I do. As you see there, we get the forced fumble. Very rare in solo battles to get a forced fumble. It's uncompetitive, and again, the sliders are not in your favor most of the time. So, very lucky to get that. Again, hit stick as much as you can. User hit stick as much as you can. You can get those fumbles, but again, I would not rely upon that in order to get your defense off the field. You can see here again, just running this again, a little deeper in his route, Christian Kirk for the touchdown. That's another thing I like the slant, is that he's progressively getting deeper in his route down the field, whereas the drag, he's just progressively getting closer to the sideline. I accidentally called this play, but instead of the Styx, but I think should be able to be effective. We can just run it here with Baker Mayfield. Really, any 5 wide play should give you that dual threat. Now, every play you pass, you have the option for the dual threat, but the 5 wide spreads the offense out, which is what you want. You want the defense to have to cover guys in space. That gives you multiple options as an offensive coordinator. Using the quarterback, who you want to go to. Do you want to pull it down and run? Do you want to, throw the ball? Who do you want to throw the ball to? Again, we got the 5 wide situation here. Again, using the middle linebacker, but we got Nichols off the edge, the first sack of the game. It's actually low for my sack count. Usually, I usually get about 3 to 4 per half, but they've been getting the ball out pretty quickly. So you can see here, that was another draw situation. The defensive line wasn't reacting too well to that, so I had to use my user there to get there. Again, we're getting Nichols. Right before Nichols got there, they're able to fire it to the tight end. Again, it's going to happen. You're just going to have to kind of deal with that. Again, this isn't foolproof. You are susceptible to plays, especially in the 5 wide. They obviously have more options, but they don't run the 5 wide too much, and you still get pretty good pressure off the edge. As you can see there, he's unblocked. So that's a situation, 5 blocking, no one there. And again, in the 5 wide, there's, only 5 blocking. So you do have that free rusher most of the time. There he overthrows it by, about 15, 20 yards. And they're in a 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 18. This is exactly what you want. They're just going to run the ball. They did get more yards than I would like on that run, but they are going to go for it, apparently. You do not see this much at solo battles. I'm going for it, but stick with it here. Stick with the defense mid-blitz. See what they end up doing. They do end up catching it with the tight end. So, unfortunately, we were unable to stop them there. Still user here. They're going to run it, and they are going to score. So as you can see there, my user did get turned around on that play. I did not expect the run. I thought they would pass the ball, but generally, you don't like to give up points. But, if you score, I've had games where, if you can score in the 40s and, you give up a touchdown, you can still get 24 to 25,000 points, which will still set you up for success. Fortunately, we had him in the situation that 3rd and 18. They were just able to get a run. Again, that was another situation though, where they just broke a lot of, they had the initial tackle and they were able to, sort of carry that defender for a few yards more than you would have liked. So here at the end of the half, that is the end of the half. So that is the video. That's sort of what I did. 22-7 is the lead right now. It's 71 overall team. Am I able to do everything I'd like to do with the higher overall team? No. Are you probably going to get beat a little, on, especially defensively, you're going to get beat on, single press coverage sometimes. You probably are. So what I'd probably try to invest in is some corners with some decent press. This mid-blitz defense does put some pressure, some significant pressure on your user at that safety, most of the time covering the running back. But it's going to give you the most pressure on the quarterback, and it's going to eliminate those short routes. There's argument, should you just run zone, play it safe. I don't think that's the best option in terms of getting the defense off the field, creating sacks, creating turnovers. So there's high potential, but there obviously is some risk, as you saw in that running play. My user was out on an island. I screwed up. Had I made the play, they probably would have only got a field goal, but you kind of live and learn. So that is the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.